sequence to do at home if you're short on time and just want to kind of have a quick stretch, a little bit of movement. Come down onto your back, knees bent, feet to the floor, arms out to your sides along the ground. Just let your back settle into the mats. Just take a couple of deeper breaths. Just feeling the rise of the belly on the inhales and the fall as you exhale. So bring the arms towards a cactus position. So forearms are dropping back towards the floor. It's okay if they don't come to the ground. If it feels too tight, then keep them longer, but have a little bend so the fingertips start to face the wall behind you. Now turn the head from one side to the other. Just feeling that lengthening through the sides of the neck, maybe through the chest or the biceps. And start to rock the knees slightly in the opposite direction to the way your head is turning. So when head goes to the right, knees go to the left. And vice versa. Just keep that going for a few rounds, just getting that spiraling through the spine. And holding back at the centre. So bring the hands to interlace around the back of the head. We'll do 6 breaths into the core. We'll take twisting abs. So bring the feet up to 90 degrees and activate through the toes, knees stacked above the hips. Elbows towards temples, spread the shoulder blades open. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press the lower back into the floor. Curl the armpits towards the ceiling, holding there. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring the elbows towards the left thigh. Push the right leg forwards. And again, pull the lower belly down. Inhale, come back to the centre. Exhale, elbows to the right thigh. Push left leg forwards. Pause here. Pull lower belly down. Inhale, come back to the centre. Exhale, elbows to left thigh. Push right leg forwards. Pull lower belly down and activate through the buttocks. Squeeze your bum cheeks on. Inhale, come back to the centre. Exhale, elbows to right thigh. Push left leg forwards. Tuck the tailbone. And again, activate through the glutes. Inhale, come back to the centre, last one either side. Exhale, elbows to left thigh, push right leg forwards, scoop the tailbone under, switch on the glutes, and lift left elbow higher so you're not leaning into the shoulder blade. Inhale, come back to the centre. Exhale, elbows to right thigh, push left leg forwards, tuck the tailbone, squeeze the glutes, and then lift the right elbow higher so you're not leaning into shoulder blade. Inhale, come back to the centre, take the head to the ground, the feet to the floor, arms rest down to the sides of the body. Take a full breath into belly. As you exhale, roll the hips up, we're coming into bridge pose. Hips floating to the ceiling, stay long through the back of the neck. Now root evenly through the feet so the feet aren't rolling out to the edges. Feet stay grounded, knees stay over the ankles. So keep pushing up through the glutes again, so glutes are active here. And notice if you can tuck your tailbone towards the fold of the knees any further, so you keep out any feeling of back bending or sinking into the lower back. Stay long and strong through that lower spine. Float the hands up towards the ceiling, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, reach the hands back behind you, fingertips reaching for the wall behind your head. Now keep them reaching back, take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly roll the spine back to the floor. Think hips coming closer to the feet as you roll down. Scooping the lower belly in as you get through to that lower back part to help the lower back unravel. Once you're grounded, bring the right knee in towards your chest, hugging in towards you. Slide the left leg out straight along the floor. So create as much distance as you can between this right knee and your left heel pushing out. Take a really full breath in. And as you exhale, just soften the squeeze of this right leg towards you so the knee just lifts away a little. Right arm relaxes out to the side and your left hand on the kneecap. Bring the knee over towards the left into a twist. So let the hip roll up, but try and keep the shoulders glued to the floor. So it's okay if this foot is floating. It might come to the floor, which is all good if you feel comfortable to be there. If you can, keep the gaze towards the ceiling or maybe even over towards that right side. And take a full deep breath in to belly, ribs and back. Long full breath out. Slowly bring everything back to the center again. Keep this right knee with you, but rebend your left leg again so that foot comes back to the ground. Your right ankle rests onto the left thigh, so we take a figure of 4. So you're using the hands, your right hand even just on its own, to push the knee away from you. You can focus back into the breath, so you're lifting the inner thigh up from the hip bone, and as you exhale, the belly pulls down from the hip bone. So you create a bit more space in that hip. You're pushing the thigh bone away from you. Bring the arms back into a cactus position again, or interlacing them around the back of the head, so just so the chest feels open, and rocking the knees side to side. Start small with the movement. If your back feels happy with it, then keep it going maybe a little bit bigger. This last couple of times. And then holding back at the center, active figure of 4. So use the strength of your left leg to pull the shin towards you. Press the right ankle and your left thigh together. So you switch it on. And you can stay here if you want to. If you want to bring in more of a passive stretch, if the arms reach, then thread one through the gap and one around the outside, and you're holding the left thigh, pulling it in a little bit closer towards the chest. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, if the arms are in reaching distance of the shin, then hands around the shin to bring it in a little bit closer still. Take whatever variation feels good. Try and drop the tailbone towards the floor, draw the shoulders back, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently releasing both feet to the floor. Give the knees a rock side to side. And then bring the left knee towards your chest when you're ready. We're just going to hug left knee in and slide the right leg out straight. So again, we want as much distance as you can create between this left knee and your right heel. Take a full breath where you are. So now let your left arm just relax to the side. Right hand holds the knee and brings it over towards that right side into a twist. So again, let the hip roll up, but your shoulders want to stay grounded. So see where the body can lever to. Pause there and take a full breath, consciously moving the breath into the belly, into the ribs, into your back. Maybe the gaze is at the ceiling or towards the left. So staying where you are, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring the knee back in towards your chest again. Rebend the right leg so you can come to figure of 4, ankle to thigh, and just let the knee drop out. Using the left hand, push the knee away from you. And again, find that sensation of lifting the inner thigh or the thigh bone up and away from the hip. And as you're exhaling, pull the belly down away from the hip. So you're opening as much space as you can into that hip flexor. Stay where you are, breathing in. And then relax both hands out to the sides or in a cactus position or fingers behind the back of the head. Rocking that connection of legs side to side. And start small and build it up as you wish to. Just taking a couple more rocks. And holding back at the center. So staying with an active figure of 4. So you use the strength of your right leg to pull the ankle towards the chest. Flexing both feet, tailbone and shoulders stay down. And again, you can stay here if this feels enough. If the legs are in reach, thread the arms through and you're holding the right thigh to bring it in a little bit closer. Now you can also add your elbow if it meets the inner thigh. So in this instance, your left elbow against left inner thigh. Use that to push the knee further away. So you're using the hands to bring the ankle to you and the elbow pushing the knee away from you. Again, you can stay holding the thigh or the shin, whatever feels enough. Take a full deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly releasing both feet to the floor. Let's give the knees a little rock side to side. And then bring them in towards you and rocking side to side there. One ankle hooks over the other. Take a couple of swings through the feet. Bring yourself up to all fours. So either rolling over the knees or sweep the legs around. Come into hands and knees. Spread the fingers open. Take an inhale, lift the chest up. Let the shoulder blades, if you can, squeeze towards each other. So lift the chest up, but then sink it downwards, if that makes sense. And take another breath in where you are. And as you exhale, push through the arms, spread the shoulder blades, and rounding the spine up to the ceiling. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Inhale again, opening the chest to look forwards and sinking it down. Exhale, push through the arms, squeezing the back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, 2 more times, arching into back bend. Exhale, rounding through the other way. Inhale, arching through to back bend. And exhale, rounding through the other way. Come back to a more neutral feeling through the spine, and then walk the hands back to the knees and lift up to a higher kneeling position. However feels good to get there, step the right leg forwards, so you're in a sort of right angle with both legs. Let the hands rest onto your front thigh. Now tuck the tailbone under and push forwards through the front of the hips. So you're opening the space in your hip flexor. Now push into the back foot. Switch on the left buttock, so squeezing glute. And if you can, then pull energetically the heel of your front foot and the knee of your back foot towards each other. So you encourage more of an active stretch. It should kind of dial up the volume on the front of that hip, getting a stretch there. Keep holding onto your front knee with your right hand. Left hand lifts up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Stay with this tucking of tailbone on left side. Exhale, lean your torso towards the right, so you're leaning towards the way of your front leg. Take another breath in where you are here. And exhale. Lift the torso back up straight. Soften the stretch of that hip. Your right hand is going to come down to the inside of your front foot. So if you want to have a block or a big book or something under that hand, that's fine. And try and press your arm and your knee, if I angle it slightly, try and push them together if you can. Left hand is then going to lift up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let the fingertips float back down to the floor. We're just going to take 2 more breaths. So inhale as you open. Exhale, sweeping down. Once more, inhale to open. Exhale, sweeping down. Fingertips either side of your front foot, and then leaning back a little way towards the back heel. You might want to wriggle your front foot forwards a little bit so we get more lengthening through the front leg. Leg does not have to straighten, but just see where you feel that point of stretch through the hamstring, the middle of your back of thigh. If we can, we curl the toes up towards you as well. And thinking rather than going down, so if you're staring at your knee, bring your gaze further towards the toes so the spine goes longer and longer and longer. Then hips sinking down from there. Take a deep breath in and come back into the lunge. Good. Come back to that kneeling position again, so just tuck the foot under and lift the chest up. Same on the other side, so left leg is going to come forwards, keep a right angle with both legs. Now the hands rest to the front thigh. Now scoop the tailbone under, draw the lower belly in, push forwards through the front of the pelvis. So imagine your hips are trying to come further forwards than your chest, so keep sinking back. And push the back foot into the floor, switch on the right buttock, and then pull front heel and back knee towards each other, so really active through the stretch. Stay holding your front thigh with your left hand, right arm lifts to the ceiling, and then lean over towards the left. Keep tucking the tailbone, so this leaning is just creating more space through that right side, so just stretching it a little bit longer. So imagine you're lengthening an elastic band from your fingertips through to that right knee that's behind you on the floor. And stretch it as long as you can. Gently bring yourself back up again. Soften off the stretch a little, so let the hips sink back. Now your left hand is going to come down to the inside of the foot. And again, you want to find a point where your knee and your arm are pushing together. So if you need to place this hand onto an object or something to lift you up a little bit, then absolutely do so. Try and keep those glued together. The right hand is going to lift up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, bring the fingertips back to the floor. Take 2 more breaths. Inhale to open. Push the knee into your arm. Exhale, fingertips down. Once more, inhale to open. Exhale, fingertips down. Place one hand either side of your front foot and then leaning back towards the back heel. Maybe caterpillar the toes forwards a little bit so you create a bit more lengthening, but leg doesn't have to fully straighten. If it feels okay to, curl the toes up towards you, and again think about long spine into it rather than curving down towards the knee. So take the chest to look forwards. Again, hands can be on books or any tins or anything to lean into. Keep the breastbone lengthening towards the toes. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, come back into the lunge. Step it back into all fours or kneeling. Hands flat to the ground when you're ready, and fold back towards a child's pose with the toes tucked underneath, like you're on your tiptoes, forehead to the ground. Come forwards to all fours and lift up to your downward facing dog, hips reaching high to the ceiling. Come forwards to plank position, breathe in, bring the knees to the floor, lift the chest up to that back bend phase of your cat-cow as we had earlier. Take the hips back to the heels, come into child's pose, feet flat this time, so untuck the toes. Come forwards to all fours, we're just going to move through that again. Tuck the toes, come to downward facing dog, hips up. Inhale, come forwards to plank. Knees to the floor, exhale. Chest lifting, back bend, inhale. Exhale, come to child's pose, untuck the toes, feet flat. Last round, inhale to all fours. Tuck the toes, downward dog, hips pushing back and up, lengthen the legs. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees down. Lift the chest up to back bend, inhale. Untuck the toes, fold to child's pose, exhale. Pausing here, take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Lift up into a kneeling position, either on the feet or lifting higher if that's more comfortable. Bring your hands together and give yourself an applause. Well done for getting to your mat. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.